sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and can even keep you from getting the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS.
One surefire way to lose respect for yourself and have your prospect lose faith or lose respect for you is to chase people. Chase them, hunt them down, keep calling them until they call you back. That's old school. I have to admit, many years ago, I did that to a number of people. I was like, keep calling until they call me back. And maybe that makes you feel good. You're getting your emotional needs met, but it's a pretty shitty way to spend your time, and it's not very effective. I had one of my clients yesterday called, and he's newer with me. He's in a job that's got a lot of calling. He's on the phone all the time, and he sent somebody a proposal yesterday. He's brand new. He's still trying to figure it out. But he called me and said, when do I call him back? When am I supposed to? I sent it to him 3 days ago. When should I call him back? I said, well, when did they tell you to call him back? He says, what do you mean? I said, when did they tell you to call him back? And he said, I didn't ask. They didn't tell me. I said, okay, well, that's what you need to do. Next time, before you send anything in the mail, before you do anything to help, say, let's pretend I do this. What's the next step? And or when should I call you back? Ask, right? There's no BS, straight up. When should I call you back? When will you open? I'll talk to you again. So let's pretend you do that, and they say, call me back on Wednesday or whatever. You say, okay, happy to do that. You might, if you're on your game, say, look, my biggest fear is you're telling me to call you back on Wednesday, and what you really mean is don't ever call me again. If that's the truth, you mind just shooting straight with me and telling me that. All right? Get to the damn point of it. Because really, if they're just being nice, do you really want to call them back? Don't waste your time there. We should be talking to people who are ready to make a change, right? If they can't prove they're ready to make a change, stop wasting time. People are playing games. Stop wasting time with them. So let's pretend somebody says, yes, call me back on Wednesday. And you say, look, I'm happy to do that. What kind of decision are we going to make on Wednesday? Let's pretend I call you back. What should we be talking about? Tighten it in. You don't need to waste your time here. Nobody knows how to buy from you. It's okay to be asking people what decisions are to be made. Hey, happy to call you back on Wednesday. What are you hoping to decide, or what are we hoping to decide on Wednesday? What you're looking for is, well, a positive step forward. I'll decide whether or not to do X. Right? Ideally, right, you have walked through it and you said, well, let's do this. When I call you back on Wednesday, you tell me whether or not you're ready to sign a contract. If you are, great. I'll get you the DocuSign immediately. If you're not, no big deal. I'll call it a no. Is that okay with you? Be clear. They don't know how to buy from you. And chances are people will play games with you, right? If you don't let them. Not everybody, but some people will. You're not asking them to tell you yes. You're asking them to make a decision, right? We're supposed to be calling on decision makers. Their job is to make decisions. So let's pretend you call them back and you get voicemail. And you don't hear back from them. And a couple of days go by and you hadn't heard back from them. If you're going to call them back again, maybe you send a text the next time. Maybe instead of you've called, you got their voicemail, maybe you send a text. Text says, are you okay? Are you okay? If you don't hear back from them, another day, call again and leave a voicemail that says, hey, John, this is Walker. Hadn't heard back from you. I'm assuming you've gone a different direction. I'm going to close your file. Look forward to our paths crossing again. Click. What, Walker? Closing the file? You might be saying to yourself, I don't want to tell them to go away. What if they go away? But all you're doing, if you've called somebody and left them a voice message and they hadn't called you back, they're in control. If you keep calling them back, they're in control. They're not answering their phone. As soon as you close the file, you end the chase. You can get over it emotionally in your head, and you just regain control. If they don't call you back, no big deal. You knew that. If they do call you back, all right, all of a sudden you're back in control again. Here's what they'll often say. No, please don't close my file. Okay, great. Tell me why. What's going on? All right, we're back to being skeptical that they're ready to make a change, which is exactly where we need to be. Remember, there are two questions that every prospect has to answer to themselves and maybe to you. Am I committed to doing something different or differently? And then, who am I going to do that with? We could be skeptical that they're really going to do something. That's what close the file means. And then, if we know they're going to do something, but they hadn't called us back, we could be skeptical they picked us. Either way, time to move on or learn the truth. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. Don't put up with BS from your buyers, your prospects. You want help with that? Send me an email, walker@walkermckay.com.
Thanks for listening to No BS Sales School podcast. If you haven't already, please take 1 minute to write a quick review for the show. It really does make a huge difference. Also, subscribe to the show and please forward this episode to somebody else who needs to hear it. As a bonus for listening, I'm going to give you access to a free mini course, 7 expensive sales mistakes you're making and what you can do about it. Go to www.7salesmistakes.com and get access to the free mini course. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.